Hello everyone, I'm making this video to talk about Dragon Age Origins and especially the Dark Ritual, why I made the choice that I made, what my thoughts were, and so on and so forth. Now, as you know, if you watch the ending of my Dragon Age Origins, I refused the Dark Ritual from Morrigan and my Grey Warden died. Now, the Dark Ritual, that's one of the most, if not the most, actually the hardest choice that I've ever made in the game. There are two main reasons why I wanted to make it, why I wanted to go through with the Dark Ritual. The first one is that I wanted to live. In Dragon Age Origins, probably more than any other game, I didn't want to die. I know that's kind of ironic, given that I did, but for some reason, in the Mass Effect 3 ending, for example, I was better equipped to take Shepard's death than I was in Dragon Age Origins. In Dragon Age Origins, I just cared so much about everyone, about the world, about Liliana, about Alistair. I just wanted to see what happens. I wanted to be part of it so very much. And I just didn't want to die. I was so hyped up after the Lands meet, Alistair on the throne, we have the entire party with us, we have the dwarves, the mages, the elves. I was just imagining how we march and face the Archdemon and then celebrate on his corpse or something. So yeah, I wanted to live. And the second reason is that, it's kind of a sub-reason to the first reason, is that given that I'm alive, I could probably counter any sort of bad consequences from the Dark Ritual if Morrigan did something bad with that child or the child did something bad in general. Given that I'm alive, I could probably stop it somehow, but who knows. So that's why I wanted to go through the Dark Ritual. And here's why I didn't want, and that was apparently a stronger reason than the previous ones. I think the biggest reason is that I didn't trust Morrigan at all. Like she lost all the trust I had in her. When you think about it, she has been lying to me and to everyone this whole time. From the very beginning, at the Kokari Wilds when we recruited her, she had that ulterior motive this whole time. Her true reason for joining us was never anything more or anything else than getting that child. And she played quite the little theater with Morrigan, with Flemeth. You know how Flemeth was like, okay, I will give you Morrigan, she'll accompany you, and she's like, oh mother, I'm not ready, we have to talk about this, something like that, and she's like, oh, you have to go or the Darkspawn will do this and that. This whole thing was an act, right? They had it planned all along. She didn't just decide to go for the Dark Ritual midway through. She had that plan all along. She even admits that she learned this from Flemeth. And also that's why Flemeth saved them and so on and so forth. In fact, I even thought that maybe she killed Flemeth to try and abuse it even further and enjoy the fruits of her labor alone or something like that. Also, obviously, through the whole story, the whole journey, you can see how she's trying to tell you that she begins to trust you and you're becoming friends and so on and so forth, but still, she keeps it a secret this whole time. If she had said that earlier, maybe we would have discussed it, maybe I would have discussed it with other companions, something like that, and who knows, maybe I would have done it. But no, not like that. And ultimately, probably the biggest reason why I don't trust her is that, given that you refuse to do it, she leaves. That is the ultimate sign of the fact that she doesn't care about you. You could say all you want, you could say that she, deep down inside, she cared, and maybe she had second thoughts afterwards, but actions speak louder than words and intentions and everything. The fact that we're about to face the Archdemon, we're about to face we're about to have the battle that will shape the fate of Ferelden and of the Grey Wardens and of the entire party. These are all people I cared for. And when she shows that she doesn't care about us at all, she would just leave us to our fate and just go somewhere because I didn't agree to her entire secretive plot is just ridiculous. I mean, as I said, actually, actions speak louder than words. I could probably give you an example with me and my wife when we got together before we got married. In less than a year, I went to Kazakhstan and back 4 times overall. I spent all my money that I had saved over the course of few years, and yet I did, and that was a much stronger sign of, of love or caring, whatever you want to call it, than all the words I could have said or all the, nice things I could have thought about her. If she truly cared, she would have gone about it in a different way. Not like that, not so secretive. She tries to use the fact that she will save my life to manipulate me into accepting. She openly admits that she doesn't trust me to have some say into the raising of the child. She doesn't want me to see it. She doesn't want me to see her. She wants to be alone somewhere doing something that she wouldn't say. No, it was just too much. It was just, I would have played into the hand of a deceiver. That's how I felt. And the second reason, which I admit is a little weaker if you think about it from the perspective solely of Dragon Age Origins without Awakening and 2, is that being with the essence and the soul of an old god poses a huge threat. Now, we don't really know very certain things about the old gods in Dragon Age Origins. We know that they were worshipped by the Tevinters, and the Tevinters committed horrible things. They used elves to fuel blood magic and stuff, and it was just slavery, very bad things. We do know that the old gods are the archdemons, but we tend to think, and Morrigan actually says that the Darkspawn is actually corrupting the old gods into becoming the archdemons, and in fact the old gods are not really that bad or something. She says that she doesn't seek the corrupted version of the old god, but just the pure essence of it or something, which is actually incorrect if we consider what happens in Dragon Age Awakening, the expansion. Now, spoiler alert, I'll try to avoid major spoilers, but I will just point out some things that we learn. So you might want to skip like 30 seconds in or a minute. We learn, and beyond a doubt, because we see the consequences of it, we learn that the Darkspawn are actually kind of neutral. Sure, they're all ugly and corrupted and spreading the blight and all that, but it is actually the old gods who control the Darkspawn. It's not the Darkspawn that seek the old gods like we learn in Origins. It's the old god that controls the Darkspawn and urges them to seek the old god out and release it. So arguably now, this part we're not so sure about. There are hints about this in Dragon Age 2. Again, spoiler alert for Dragon Age 2. In a certain DLC, we find out that, how shall I say to avoid a major spoiler, about the Black City in the Fade. Let me just say that it may be that it wasn't the Maker's punishment that the Tevinter mages became the Blight. Maybe it was the old gods' influence that turned them into that. And in fact, knowing that the old gods are controlling the Darkspawn into freeing them, maybe the old gods are just corrupted to begin with. Maybe the Darkspawn do not taint the old gods at all. Maybe the Archdemon is in fact what the old gods look like, what they are. So there is strong evidence to suggest that the old gods are in fact quite nasty and quite dangerous. So couple that with the fact that I cannot trust Morrigan at all, and then I'm forced to choose whether I should trust her with something so dangerous. I just couldn't bring myself to do it, even though I wanted to live so much, and even though I thought, maybe I can still fix it somehow. I just thought it's too much, and it will, the danger of undoing all the stuff that I did, all the conflicts that I've tried to fix and all, was just too much. And so I refused the Dark Ritual, and you saw how it ended. It's certainly a hard choice. It's certainly not something that I can blame you for if you did it. It's certainly a hard choice, and yeah, and I would like to know what you think about all those things that I've said. Until next video, stay tuned and be good.